Unlike the 3 base game neighborhoods, the expansion pack hoods don't have scripted events programmed into the game. However, Maxis did give us some guidance on where to start with these families if you know where to look. Today we're playing Riverblossom Hills, and I'm going to show you my recommended playing order for these families right now. Riverblossom Hills is a rural farming neighborhood that came with the Seasons expansion. When you start playing the hood, the ground will be covered in snow, and almost all the families start out in winter except for the Greenman family. There are 6 playable households and 3 families in the sim bin. The first family I recommend you play is the Viejo family. This family consists of Andrew Martin, his teenage son Jacob Martin, and 2 family friends, Betty and Catherine. Now the story for this family is Andrew has been raising Jacob as a single father, and he was very close to his mother who recently died. His mother's 2 friends, Betty and Catherine, are helping Jacob to get over the loss of his mother and helping him to raise Jacob. But all the Sims in this household have different wants. Now, as soon as you load the households in Riverblossom Hills, you may notice that the Sims already have wants locked in. I think this is Maxis's half-ass way of giving us scripted events. Like, they were too lazy to make the actual scripted events, so they just locked in these wants for all the Sims to kind of give us direction on which way to go. So we're going to be fulfilling these locked in wants for our Sims and getting the neighborhood set up. Now, the reason why I suggest you play the Viejo family first is because our lovely lady Catherine here has a want to meet someone new. If you were to play another household first, Catherine could possibly show up on the lot, meet someone new, fulfill this want, and you'd never even know that she had it locked in or that she fulfilled it, and you wouldn't get to control who she meets. But let's start with the easier to fulfill wants. Jacob here has the want to buy electronic entertainment. This is his locked in want. Jacob loves gaming just like his dad. He actually has a part-time job in the gaming career as a trash talker, and his dad also works as a gold farmer in the gaming career. So they're able to bond over gaming. Their relationship isn't all that close right now, but I think their love of gaming is going to bring them together. If we go into the family's living room, we can see that they already have a gaming console. So we're going to have to buy them either a pinball machine or one of the arcade games that came with University. I usually buy them a pinball machine because the arcade games cost money, and I feel like they're more suited for community lots. So I'm going to buy them a pinball machine, and I'm going to stick it over here in the corner, and that fulfills Jacob's want to buy a gaming system. Now let's move on to Andrew. Andrew's locked in want is to earn some money. Now, like I said before, he is employed. He's actually supposed to be at work today. He was supposed to go in at 9 a.m. and it's 12 p.m. and he's still at home. I get the feeling he's a little bit of a slacker, so we're going to click on him and choose walk to work. He's going to go to work and earn some money to fulfill that want. Now let's take a look at Betty. Betty's locked in want is the most difficult to achieve in the household. She has the want to marry a rich Sim. When we read Betty's bio, it says Betty refuses to let the death of her friend slow her down or cloud her judgment in pursuit of truth and justice. Throwing herself into work and possibly at that lovely young farmer man helps keep her mind off of the reality of her age. Now, looking at her relationships, I see that she is an acquaintance with Lead Mcgregor. Now, Lead is the only single rich Sim available in the neighborhood. So I really feel like this is the path that Maxis intended for Betty to have. She wants to marry a rich Sim. Her bio talks about a farmer, and Lead is a rich farmer in town. So we're going to be trying to get her married to him. Now, Catherine here is a romance Sim. She wants to woohoo and flirt in addition to her want to meet someone new. So I feel like she would like to meet someone who she can romance. Catherine's bio also alludes to the fact that she has a little bit of a crush on the farmer man down the street, but I feel like she is letting her friend have him because she has the want to meet someone new and she already knows Lead. Betty is calling Lead and inviting him over so that they can get to know each other a little bit better before she has to go to work today. Luckily, he said yes, he doesn't really have anything better to do. The welcome wagon has also arrived to the house, consisting of Patricia Wan alone. She's the only one who came. Now, even though she's not a romantic interest for Catherine, we could satisfy Catherine's want by having her introduce herself to Patricia, and then we could try to find her some romance later. So the carpool will be coming for Catherine and Betty in just 1 hour, and she's taking her sweet precious time to get out here. and greet Lead. I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna have her jump right in and charm Lead and see how he takes it. Well, her flirt failed, so she's gonna try and chat with him instead. She's given it all she's got to get that rich sim. They do have 2 bolts together, so things should be a bit easier. Andrew just got home from work, fulfilling his want to earn money, and we're just waiting on the ladies to get back home so we can continue Betty's relationship with Lead. Well, it didn't take long for Lead to get a crush on Betty, but she doesn't feel the same way about him yet. It's taking her longer, even though she's the one who wants to get married. Oh, there she goes. Now she's getting her crush on him. They've been outside on the front porch flirting ever since she got home from work, and I'm going to continue this as long as possible before she has to go to bed, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Okay, so Lead has just fell in love with Betty, and Betty is close on his heels. She has a lifetime relationship of 67 now. They're outside in the cold, but her temperature is still hot. Betty invited Lead back over this morning so they can continue making out on the porch until she is in love with him. And she is finally in love. It took her quite a while to get to that point. Her heart was cold and locked, but he has unlocked it with his Scottish charms. The next household I recommend you playing in Riverblossom Hills is the Mcgregor Household. This is Lead, of course. Now, it's said that Lead is based off of Don Lothario from Pleasantview, and that may be true, but he's actually a fortune sim and not a romance. Now, his locked-in want is to earn 100 simoleons. Because he is unemployed and also owns this farm, I feel like Maxis is trying to direct us to have him earn money from his farming. It's 6 a.m. whenever we load the lot, which is because Lead wakes up a farmer early. The first thing I do is have him go out and plant his crops before the sun comes up. You can also see that he wants to get engaged to Betty. As soon as he finishes his morning chores, we'll invite Betty over and propose to her. The reason why I waited until we loaded his lot before doing the proposal and marriage is because I want Betty to move in with him. This is Lead's farm. He loves this place, and I don't feel like he would give it up to go and move in with her. Now that the crops are planted and the sun is up, Lead is calling Betty and inviting her over for a proposal. Betty's here and Lead is coming out to greet her with a very aggressive kiss. And now we're not gonna waste any time. He's just gonna get right to it and propose engagement after she finishes gossiping about some townies. I love you with all my heart, Betty. I know we just fell in love yesterday, but won't you marry me and be my wife? And she's gonna say, of course. You're rich, young, and handsome. How could I say no to that? And now he is in platinum and he also wants to get married to Betty. Now, if you're wondering why he's getting a negative memory of engagement, this is a bug and there is a mod to fix it, or you can also fix the memory in SimPE. I'll put the link down below to a tutorial and also to the mod. I'm not using any mods in my play order series, so that's why he's still getting the negative memory. Now I'll have Lead call and throw a wedding party because I definitely want all of their friends to come and support them. I put a wedding arch in the backyard and bought a wedding cake. All the guests have arrived and it's time to get hitched. Aww. Look at those wrinkles though. I love to make these Sims over with my own custom content. They look a lot better. Okay, so they are married and that satisfies Betty's want to marry a rich Sim. We can see here she has the memory of got married to Lead, a rich Sim, and that satisfies Lead's wants of getting married to Betty and engaged to Betty. The next household I recommend you play is the Greenman household. This is Jason, Rose, and their little baby Daisy. Rose and Daisy are of course plant Sims. So the story with this family is that Jason and Gabe O'Mackey were hiking in the mountains near Riverblossom Hills and they found a society of plant Sims who lived there. Jason fell in love with Rose and convinced her to move back to town with him, and here they are raising their child Daisy. Jason's locked-in want is one of the most difficult to achieve because he wants to become a plant Sim like his wife Rose. Rose is a little bit easier. She just wants to flirt with Jason, and Daisy is a toddler, so she doesn't have any locked-in wants right now. now. When we load the lot, it's 12 p.m. Jason works in the adventurer career and he has to be at work at 2, which gives him about 1 hour to work with before he has to leave. If you hurry, you can get him to plant several plants out in the garden before he leaves, and this is important because in order to become a plant sim, sims have to first spray an excessive amount of pesticide, and in order to do that, we have to have plants that are infested by bugs. Now, the Sims 2 Seasons Prima Guide says you have to spray 100 plants before you have a chance of becoming a plant sim, but that's not actually true. It's actually 15 plants. If you use the plant mini command, he will plant all of the plots before he leaves for work. The family also has just enough money to purchase 2 orchard trees. So I go into the garden center in the build mode catalog and buy 2 orchard trees and just place them in the back. That just gives us more of a chance to become a plant sim. Make sure you don't use the ladybugs in your garden because we need the bugs to appear in order to be able to spray the plants. Now that Jason's home from work, we can fulfill Rose's want to flirt with him, after which she almost always rolls the want to get a job, and I like to lock that in for her so that I can get her a job when I come back to playing this family rotationally. It's the next morning and I see our first tree is infested with bugs, so I'll have Jason go and spray it. Now, it can take a couple of days before he's able to spray enough to become a plant sim, so there is a way that we can cheat. If you type Control-Shift-C to bring up the cheat console, turn on testing cheats by typing bullprop testing cheats enabled space true, then you can shift click on your garden plants and choose debug infest with bugs. Now, normally I would not cheat this way, but because I'm trying to make this video in a relatively short amount of time, I want to go ahead and turn Jason into a plant sim, so we're going to cheat all of these to be infested. And then we're just going to have him go and start spraying away. He has to get to at least 15 sprays before he has a small chance of becoming a plant sim. It shouldn't take too long. And if you're wondering why he was wearing a kimono earlier, it's because I have a clothing recategorizer. So the clothes that he normally wears are in the season's outerwear section, and it just randomly put him into a kimono. If I was going to be playing this family seriously now, I would obviously give him a makeover. He's just soaking up all that pesticide. Oh, it's happening. So you'll notice your sim will start to cough, and then they'll be covered in a cloud of pesticide, and then they turn into a plant sim. So here is Jason Greenman. Now he's a plant sim, just like his wife, a plant sim with sideburns. Next up is the Roth household. Now, the Roth household is said to be based on the Goth household from Pleasant View, if you didn't know, and it consists of Morty Roth, Stella Roth, Sandra Roth, and little Xander Roth. And even their house is almost exactly the same as the Goth's house in Pleasant View. So here's just a quick overview. And the only difference really is the decor, and they have a swimming pool and also a greenhouse. But the layout is almost exactly the same. The Roths use their 3rd floor though. They have a piano and a table and chairs up here. So when we load the lot, we find Stella Roth here with a locked-in want to invite someone over. A look at her relationship panel shows that she is no longer in love with her husband Morty. She doesn't even have a crush on him anymore. She's still friends with him, even best friends, and they're still married, but she just does not feel the love anymore. If we look at Morty's relationship panel, we see that he is still in love with her, but she doesn't feel the same way. This marriage is on the rocks. Morty is the only sim in this household who doesn't have a locked-in want at the start. Teenage daughter Sandra has a locked-in want to flirt, and she is romantically involved with Jacob Martin, who we played before in the Viejo household. And little Xander has the want to buy a game. So let's take care of the easiest one first. Since the family doesn't have a dartboard, I like to buy one and put it on the 3rd floor next to the piano, and this satisfies Xander's want to buy a game. That's one cool kid. Now, as far as Stella's want to invite someone over, in my mind, I see this as her wanting to have an affair. She has a wandering eye and she's ready to spread her love elsewhere. The same thing with Sandra here. She wants to flirt, but we'll have to wait until she gets home from school. She also has a part-time job as a file clerk. It's 1 in the afternoon and Morty is headed off to work. He actually works from 2 to 7 p.m. in the adventurer career, which means he spends his evenings away from his wife, Stella. She gets home at 3 p.m. I think this might be why their relationship is on the rocks. They don't really get to spend too much time together. And this also leaves her ample time to invite someone over and have an affair. Sandra's home from school. She's gonna call up Jacob and invite him over so she can get a flirt in, hopefully before she has to leave for work at 2 p.m. Sandra's carpool is here, but so is her boyfriend. She has time to give him a little flirt before she has to leave. So hurry up, Sandra. Let's do a flirt, do a caress, I guess. There we go. Now she's got the flirting out of her system. She can go to work. Stella's home from work and she brought a friend home. She actually brought home Peter Audimus. Every time I play this family, she brings a friend home on this first day of work. I don't know if that's scripted in or if it just happens to be coincidence when I play her, but I figure that she's bringing someone home in the hopes of having an affair. But Peter Audimus might not be the best choice. He is actually married. He's one of the Ben families that comes with seasons, and I'm going to be moving his family into the neighborhood. So she's just going to go ahead and say goodbye to him, and we're going to find somebody else to invite over. Looking through her relationship panel, the only single male that she knows right now is Andrew Martin. She doesn't know him well enough for him to accept her invitation to come over. I'll have her call and talk to him on the phone for a while first before she invites him. Now, if you really wanted some drama, you could have her have an affair with Peter Audimus. That's just not where I want to take things right now. After a conversation or two on the phone, their relationship should be high enough for him to accept her invitation to come over. Stella's home from work and she actually got a promotion today and brought another friend home. She brought home Kenneth Ternick, who is a townie that she could befriend. But right now she wants to be friends with Andrew and invite someone over. Now Morty is off work today, so that's gonna put a crimp in her style if she's trying to flirt with one of these guys. But that's not gonna stop her from inviting someone over and fulfilling her want. She's calling Andrew and inviting him over. So now she has 2 guys here with her husband upstairs. And he says, it's always a pleasure to see you. I'll be right over. That fulfills her want to invite someone over. I'll let her socialize with these guys for a little bit, but that's pretty much it for this household as far as their locked in wants. Where the story's gonna go with her in the future is up to her. But I think Andrew is a really good candidate for her to have an affair with because he is single. He's single and he's here. There's also the possibility of her coworker who she brought home here. The possibilities are endless. Next up, we have the Juan household. This is Patricia Juan and her roommate Cleo. This house was given to Cleo by her aunt, Catherine Viejo. According to Cleo's bio, Cleo is happy to move closer to her favorite aunt, but will living away from the city be the best thing for her? Will that adorable farmer ever notice that she's noticing him? Well, probably not, because he's married now. Cleo's locked-in want is to earn 100 simoleons. She's employed as a studio musician, making 1,030 simoleons a day, so it's not going to take much to earn this 100 simoleons. Basically, she just has to go to work one day. She's off today, so we'll have to wait until tomorrow to fulfill that want for her. Patricia is romantically involved with Gabe O'Mackey, but unfortunately, she does not get along with Gabe's daughter, Jules. Patricia's locked-in want is to gain a creativity skill. So the first thing I do is have Patricia practice on the piano to gain the creativity skill that she wants. Her hobby is music and dance. She and Cleo share a love of music and they get along really well because of that. Patricia gained her creativity skill. She got interrupted and had to go to work, but when she came home, she picked it back up, and now we have fulfilled her locked-in want. We just have to fulfill Cleo's. It's 3 a.m. and Cleo's just getting home from work. Wow, that is her work outfit. That's cute. And we fulfilled her want to earn some money. So that's it for the Juan household. I played them for about 2 days, getting everything set up, fulfilling their wants, and now it's time to move on to our last family. Our final playable family is the O'Mackey family. This is Gabe and his daughter Jules. Gabe wants to see Jules get an A+ report card. Doing well in school is very important to this family. Gabe is a high school teacher and he wants his daughter to do well. Jules is locked in want is to get a job in the journalism career and really prove to her dad that she is a high achiever. Let's have her check the computer. There just happens to be a job available in the journalism career. Now, I honestly don't know if this is scripted in to be available on this first day or if we just got lucky, but we're gonna take it. And that fulfills Jules's want. and gets her started on the journalism career path. Now we just have to make sure she does her homework and gets to school tomorrow so that she can get an A+ report card and make her dad proud. And just as a reminder, Gabe is good friends with Jason Greenman, and in fact, Gabe was with Jason whenever he discovered the Plant Sim Society and met Rose. So he is good friends with both Jason and he's friends with Rose. Also, once again, he's romantically involved with Patricia Wan, and he has no idea that Patricia does not get along with his daughter. He is also enemies with his ex-wife, Alexandra O'Mackey, and she is one of the families in the Sim Bin. We will be moving her into the neighborhood after we finish playing this family. Alexandra is, of course, Jules's mom, and she ran off to be a pirate, leaving behind Gabe and her daughter. Not just any pirate, a dread pirate. It's Wednesday morning and Jules has rolled the want to go steady, which I'm locking in for her so I can work on that when I get back to this family's rotation. And I usually pair her up with David Audemus. Once we place the Audemus family into Riverblossom Hills, there's pretty much a match for all of the younger Sims. And I'll go over the pairings that I usually do towards the end of the video. Jules just got home from school and she has an A+ report card, which fulfilled Gabe's want for her to get that A+. She also brought a friend home from school. It took me about 4 days for Jules to get an A+ report card. So now that I'm done with everybody's locked in wants from the neighborhood, the next thing I do is place the bin families down in Riverblossom Hills. The 3 bin families that came with Riverblossom Hills include Alexandra O'Mackey, who succumbed to the call of the sea and left her family to pursue her dream of becoming a dread pirate. Then we have the Ramaswamy family. Sanjay and Priya are ready to settle down and start their life together. And then, of course, we have the ever-famous Audemus family. I like to place the Audemus family at 102 Firefly Pass. It's the largest house available in Riverblossom Hills that they can afford. I would prefer for them to have a 4-bedroom. This house is technically a 3-bedroom, but it also has a dining room that you could convert into a bedroom for Granny. So here they are moving in, and also Samantha is pregnant with twins. And if you've heard the rumor about you shouldn't let Samantha give birth to the twins because it's gonna cause corruption, that's only true if you have an old unpatched version of the game. If you have an updated patched version of the game or Ultimate Collection, it's perfectly safe to let Samantha have her twins. So this is the house. Here is the kitchen, living room, dining room. So this dining room right here, I usually convert this into a room for Dora just until she passes away, and then you can repurpose it for other uses for the family. I make the nursery for Tommy Audemus downstairs just because I don't want to be carrying a baby up and down the stairs. And then upstairs we have 2 large bedrooms. While Charlotte is a little girl, I also have her share the nursery down here with her brother so that we can give David his own room upstairs. Since he's a teenage boy, I usually give him this room here, and then Peter and Samantha get the large master bedroom here. And that's pretty much the best you can do with this house. The Ramaswamy family, I usually move here into 147 Huckleberry Lane. It's a large 2-bedroom house. It does need some work, but they have plenty of money. They have 35,000 simoleons, so they do have enough money to do some redecoration, some remodeling, and it needs it. A lot of the houses in Riverblossom Hills are just weird. Like, it doesn't look terrible. I've seen worse Max's builds, but it still needs help, especially on the inside. But there's plenty of room for them to have a child or 2, and so it's a good starter home for them. For Alexandra O'Mackey, I like to move her here into 115 Riverbend Road. It's a tiny little inexpensive starter house. She's back from her adventures of being a dread pirate, and apparently she didn't find too much booty. As a single person on her own that doesn't have very much money, she would have to get a pretty small little house. So she just bought this tiny little cottage, and this is where she's gonna live until she either gets remarried or who knows. Who knows what the future holds for her, but I like to put her in this little starter house. And then I use some of her remaining 8,000 simoleons to do a little bit of redecorating as well. As far as pairing my Sims up, this is what I typically do for this first generation of Riverblossom Hills. Gabe O'Mackey, of course, is paired with Patricia Wan. Jules O'Mackey, I pair with David Audemus. Sandra Roth with Jacob Martin. Xander Roth with Charla Audemus. Daisy Greenman with Tommy Audimus, Andrew Martin with either Cleo or Alexandra O'Mackey, depending on which one he chooses. I also often have him have an affair with Stella Roth, as you saw me preparing for in the Roth household. This leaves one single female in Riverblossom Hills. It will either be Cleo or Alexandra. I will typically pair them with the townie or NPC of their choice. Now, those are just my plans and ideas when I start the neighborhood. Sometimes my Sims have other ideas and they go a different direction than what I wanted for them because I use a wants-based playstyle. But I hope this gives you some inspiration for your Riverblossom Hills. Leave a comment down below and let me know, how do you play? I would love to hear what pairings you do and what families you play and what houses you put the bin families in and all of that. So let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you would like me to do the other expansion pack neighborhoods, leave a comment and let me know that as well. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, where I stream The Sims 2 3 times a week. Also consider becoming a YouTube channel member for bonus videos and members only live streams. You can click the little join button down below for more information. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. And I will see you with a new one very soon.